Merry Christmas everyone! So I've officially declared Christmas, which means it's time for the festive reads. I do this every year. As soon as it gets to November, I will switch from romance and fantasy into Christmas romance novels. If it is like a Hallmark movie in paper form, I'm all over it. So I've just been listening to an audiobook, which is what inspired this video. So I thought I'd bring you along on the hunt to find the best Christmas book. So the audiobook that I have been listening to recently is The Christmas Bookshop by Colgan. I've got 1 hour left, so I'll give my full review once I've finished it. But yeah, really liking so far. This may be a contender for the shelf. So if anyone doesn't know, I have quite limited room and I will only buy copies of my absolute favourite books. I will put a clip in now of my bookshelves. So I read on my Kindle, and then if I really like it, I'll buy the physical copy. So let's see if any of the books that I read this month do make it. Okay, so the first book of my festive reads on my Kindle is Tessa Bailey, Wreck the Halls. This book is following two characters. The names really bother me, I'm going to be honest. It's making it hard for me to get into the book. So the boy is called Beat and the girl is called Melody. Their mums were in a girl band back in the day, and one of their songs has gone viral and the public are calling for a reunion, but the two women have fell out and no one knows why, and the two children are trying to get a reunion in place. The names are bothering me. Beat and Melody, talking about a girl band. I mean, I'm trying to get past it. So they are making a TV show of them trying to get their mothers to reunite. And the two characters met once when they were younger. They're not in each other's lives because, as I said, their mums aren't in contact. They met once when they were younger and felt this immediate connection, and their whole lives they've been thinking about how much they connected when they met that first time. And now that they're back in each other's lives, it's like love at first sight kind of thing I'm getting, which is not my favourite trope, I will be honest. But I'm going to persevere because I cannot DNF a book. I've only DNF'd one book in my life, and that was my dad walking up. I've only DNF'd one book in my life and I had to pick it back up and finish it because I can't be having that. So I will keep you posted on how I get on with this. So I'm 89% through the book. I've got 43 minutes left, and I'm going to be honest, I'm so excited to finish this book. It's just not been my cup of tea. I'm not saying it's a bad book, but it's a bit, I don't want to say corny, but that is the word that I would use to describe it. It's very much, I could have told you the plot maybe 2 chapters in, like you kind of know how it's going to go. And I don't always hate that, but this being the whole we're meant to be together, it's fate, I don't know, I'm not loving it, and it's not been too Christmassy. So in terms of the perfect Christmas romance, it's not going to be a winner for me, but I'll let you know my thoughts when I finish it. Time to decorate my family Christmas tree. I'm so excited. While I was getting ready, I was just finishing off listening to my audiobook, The Christmas Bookshop by Colgan, and oh my god, I've loved it. I've been listening to it on my drives to and from work recently, and it is just the coziest little Christmas book I've read. I've read another Colgan book. An Island Christmas, and I really recommend that. I read that a few years ago, so I thought she's got to be good, and I've seen there's a few more in like a mini series of this book, so I will definitely be giving them another go. So it's about two sisters, Carmen and Sophia. Carmen is struggling with comparison to her sister. So her sister has a really good job, 3 children, a husband, a beautiful house, and her parents keep comparing her to her sister. So she goes to work for a small bookshop in Edinburgh over the holidays, and she's staying at her sister's house. So it's a lot about the rekindling of the relationship between the two sisters, which is just so wholesome, so lovely. If you have a sister, you will definitely connect with one of them in some way. I had high hopes for this book, and it really did deliver. So if you want a cozy, if you've been to Edinburgh sometime near Christmas, you need to read this book because I think you'll love it. Or if you want to go to Edinburgh at Christmas, because it really captures the city well, and it was just so cozy. I loved the relationship between the sisters and her nieces and nephews, and it was just so wholesome. So if you read this, let me know your thoughts. I also persevered and did finish Wreck the Halls. When I seen I had an hour left, I was like, yay! And I am not saying it's a bad book. I'm saying it's not my kind of book. I've never read anything else Tessa Bailey, and if you have read something by Tessa Bailey that you liked, please let me know, because I'm not writing her off as an author. I just didn't love the plot of that book. It's the whole fated lovers. It's just not for me. It was too intense, too soon. There was no build up. I like a bit of a slow burn. Yeah, there was not enough build up, and yeah, it just wasn't for me. So my final rating for Wreck the Halls is a 2 out of 5. Wasn't my favourite. I feel like there's got to be a more perfect Christmas book for me. So next on the list is one I've been seeing all over TikTok. I joined a book club on Facebook, and this is the book of the month. So How My Neighbour Stole Christmas by Meghan Quinn. I'm gonna start this now, and I'll let you know how I get on with this one. I've officially finished How My Neighbour Stole Christmas by Meghan Quinn. I've been a bit rubbish and not filmed while I was reading it. It's because I've just been so busy with work, and I've just been reading when I look like an absolute troll in bed, and no one wants to see that. So my review: at the start of all the chapters there's a little poem, which I suppose is a cute idea. I've not read any other books that have that, but it was a bit there were sections where the characters were talking to the narrator, and I found that a bit weird. I mean, I've not read anything else like that, so it was different. I can't fault that, but I found that a bit weird. But other than that, I did really like this book. It took me a while to get into. At first I was thinking, meh, like it wasn't bad, it wasn't good. But as the story went on and the romance started to build, I did really like it. The premise of the book is that the main character's story and her sister go back to visit their auntie who's poorly, and she lives in a town that is Christmas all year round. So her auntie competes every year in a competition to see who is the most Christmassy in the town. So there's various competitions like stocking making, making eggnog, decorating the lights. Her auntie isn't very well, so she is competing in place of her auntie. And then another competitor is who was her childhood best friend in the town that she now is on bad terms with. So he only enters to make sure that she doesn't win, essentially. And so there's a bit of enemies to lovers, but also childhood best friends to enemies to lovers. It was cute. Is it my favourite Christmas book? No. I would give it a... what did I give it on my app? I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. So it was good. I liked it. I much preferred the Christmas Bookshop, but obviously they're completely different books, I don't want to compare, but when I am currently trying to find my favourite Christmas book, I mean, there has to be a level of comparison. I've not read anything else by Meghan Quinn. Let me have a Google and see what other books she has, because I definitely would give her books another go. So she writes a Not So Meet Cute. I've definitely heard of that, so maybe I need to give another Meghan Quinn book a go. My next audiobook that I've been listening to, and I just finished this morning, was A Christmas Tree Farm. Now, I had to read that book. In my last reading video, I actually read a cinnamon bun bookstore. Yeah, that's what it was called. And I didn't love a cinnamon bun bookstore, but I did like a pumpkin spice cafe, so I thought, I need to give Laurie Gilmore another go. In A Christmas Tree Farm, our main character is buying a homestead to try and prove she can be independent, and it just so turns out to be a Christmas tree farm. So her twin sister has moved to Norway, and she's trying to prove that she can make it by herself too. She comes from quite a wealthy family, so she uses her inheritance to buy it. I mean, if you've read any of the other books and the stories, you know kind of the group of friends, and Bennett is Jeannie's brother. The main character is a bit of a recluse, and they task Bennett with befriending her and trying to open her Christmas tree farm up to the town, and then obviously they become a bit friendly. But that was one of my favourite books I've read this season, I think. So I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5, which is quite high, so I would really recommend this. If you struggled with a cinnamon bun bookstore like me, don't write off this series, because I really did like this. I'm going to go book shopping later today and see if I can find some books for my shelf, so I will show you what books make it to the shelf. Hello! So it's a few days later now, and I thought I'd show you the books that I got for my shelf from this video. So I got 2 of the 4 books for my shelf, which is pretty good going. So starting off with Jenny Colgan, The Christmas Bookshop. I love this, and it's going to sit right in pride of place next to my other Jenny Colgan Christmas book, which is An Island Christmas. So if you've not read that, you need to also read An Island Christmas. But yeah, I did love this book. And then the second book that I got was The Christmas Tree Farm. I don't know how anyone resists buying Laurie Gilmore books for their bookshelf, because the spines, put it the right way up, are just the prettiest thing ever. I mean, how can I not have that? So I will pop these both on my shelves now and show you. So that is the end of my festive reads for 2024. I've loved it. I love this every single year. But if you have any recommendations for me next year, then please do let me know. But for now, I need to get back onto my fantasy reading. I missed it so much. I love these little festive, fun reads, but I need something that's going to keep me awake at night wondering what is next in the plot. So that is what I will commence now. But thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. But if not, Merry Christmas and well wishes for 2024. I'm just jumping in to say, because I know my best friend Abby will ask what lipstick I'm wearing. I am wearing Glossier Fate. Bye Abby!